Hello friends, welcome to EduTap. I'm your mentor Veer and I welcome you all in the session related to how to apply online for the NABARD Grade A 2021 exam. In this session, I will give you the detailed way that how you can go to the site and what are the ways that you can apply for this examination online. So without wasting any time, let's get started. But if you are new here guys, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can find the daily updated videos regarding the courses that we are offering. Moreover, if you want to download the free material that we are providing, you can check out our Telegram group, the link of which you can find in the description box. Moreover guys, there is one more information which is quite important for you, that we are running 35% off on all our courses. That is RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A, SEBI Grade A, as well as combo of these courses. You can avail 35% discount by using the code EID, that is EID35, and this code will remain available from 19th July till 23rd July. So guys, don't miss out the opportunity, use it wisely. So guys, now coming to the main point, that how you can apply for the NABARD Grade A examination 2021. What you need to do is go to the NABARD site, and then within the career section, which is the career notices, you need to go to this. If you click on this, you will find something like this which will appear on your screen, and there you will find the option of click here to continue. So as soon as you click on this button or this icon, it will take you to the next page. In there will be a complete list of recruitment which is currently going on at the NABARD site, and in there you have to scroll down and look for the option for recruitment to the post of Assistant Manager in Grade A RDBS / Rajya Bhasha Services 2021. Below there you will find two icons. One is advertisement. This will provide you the detailed advertisement and you can download it from here. You can download by clicking on the advertisement. Then when you go through the advertisement in detail and clear with each and everything, what you need to do, you need to go on the second icon which is shown here, apply here. So as soon as you click on this icon, it will take, or basically it opens up a new window which something like this will appear on your screen. On the topmost it will appear as NABARD, that is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. The icon will appear here. Then there are few important dates regarding the online registration, the closure of registration, then the closure for editing the application. All these details are here. The important dates for us is the starting of the registration and the closure of the registration. We need to fill the form in between these two important dates. Then the other important date is the online fee payment. You can pay your fee on any day between 17th July till 7th of August. So guys, these dates are important. Don't miss out these dates. Now what you need to do is you need to click on for new registration. If you are visiting the site for the first time, what you need to do, you need to register on the site. So for registering, what you need to do, you need to click on the yellow icon which is highlighted here. Now as soon as you click on this, it will take you to the next interface which will be like this. Okay, so as soon as this window will appear on your screen, what you need to do, it will ask certain basic information regarding the student who want to appear for the NABARD 2021 examination. Through this process you will register. Now what are the important basic info that you need to fill up? First of the important basic info is your first name. Like guys, my name is Veer Ashutosh. I am writing it Veer Ashutosh. So my first name is Veer. Okay, there may be someone who is named as Rudra Pratap Singh. So Rudra will be the first name, and this is mandatory. So guys, if you see the asterisk mark with red color, you need to fill that detail. You cannot proceed further without filling that particular box. So this is mandatory. So your first name should be filled here. I will fill Veer. Then I will confirm my first name, which is again Veer. Guys, there is no constraint that you have to type it in the capital or in the small letters. It's totally up to you what you want to choose. If you want to type it in the capital, you can do so. If you want to type it in the small, you can do so. Then you will have to write down your middle name. My middle name is Ashutosh, so I will write down my middle name in here. Then I will confirm my middle name. So as soon as I confirm, the box which is full name will start appearing like this. Whatever you have typed in the first name and the middle name, it will start appearing here. Okay. So you need to then fill your last name. If suppose you are using any surname, Chaudhary, Singh, any of the surnames, then you will write your last name here. Okay. And automatically your last name will appear here. So this is the way that you need to write your name. Again, I would like to repeat, you can use the capital letters as well as small letters. It's totally your choice. Then you need to fill an important information, which is your mobile number. Guys, this is really crucial. You must be sure that whatever the mobile number you are putting in, you must use that particular mobile at least for the time being of this particular recruitment. Okay, because there is no option that you can change your mobile number in the future. So please fill the important mobile number that you will be using for the next few months at least. So you will fill your mobile number something. Okay, then you will confirm your mobile number. Whatever you have, the number you have given, you will write down or confirm that mobile number again. If there is any alternate mobile number, you can type, so it is not mandatory. Only one number is required. It's totally your choice. If you want to provide some alternate number, it's totally up to you. Then another information which is again important is your email ID. Guys, this email ID is very important because all the registration details not only go to this mobile number which you have just typed, but also to your email ID. So whatever the email ID you are using, that must be your permanent email ID. So suppose I am using some email ID like abc@gmail.com. So what I will write in here, I will write the username, which is ABC. Let me write it in here, guys. abc@gmail. Suppose this is my email ID, abc@gmail.com. So ABC is my username. So I will write this ABC in here, and then in the domain name, when I click on this icon, there are multiple options which appear here, like, and one of those will be Gmail. If you are using some other domain, you can select it from here. Then what you need to do, you will again need to confirm your email ID. How you can confirm? By typing the entire email ID, like abc@gmail.com. Okay. So this is the basic information that is required by NABARD for your registration. And then you need to put the security code which is provided here, like it is provided ZBWJB. So as soon as you type here and you click on save and next button, which is highlighted here, what will happen? It will take you to the next step, which shows that our first basic information or basic registration process is done. Then it will take you to the next step, which is related to the uploading of photo and signature. So guys, as soon as I click on the save and next button, interface will change and it will appear something like this. Now there are two important things, guys. One is that not only your registration number will go to your mobile ID as well as email ID along with the password. So here is the registration number, the allotted registration number will be now the registration number will be allotted to you along with the password. Okay, you need to save these details. Though a message will be sent to your registered mobile number, which we have just put in the previous slide, and also an email will be sent to you on the registered email which we have just used in the previous slide. But again, I would like to say that please save it separately so that there won't be any chance that you miss out it. Because without this, there are chances, suppose if you stop the registration process and if you want to continue later on, there is no way that you can do so without the registration number and the password. Okay, I have made it white, guys, because it's just a random number. Okay, for me. I do not want to share it with you. So this is my registration number is something like 6500 and some other digits, and it will also appear here with my name. No worries, I'm not eligible for this NABARD examination. Okay, this is just a demo session, that's why I put it my own name. Okay, now at the step 2, what you need to do, you need to upload your photo and signature. And guys, uploading these are really crucial, and I think one of the most difficult step for the students, because they need to convert the photos and signatures as per the standard requirement of NABARD examination. Now guys, what we need to do, we first need to check the guidelines for the photo as well as signature. So let us see what are the important guidelines regarding the photo and the signature. So guys, here are the standards, but there are few important, rest of the things are not much important, but the few important ones I will highlight to you. Not read out each and every line, but I am highlighting the important one. First of all guys, the photo that you are using must not have reddish eyes. In many of the time when you click on the photo, your eyes appear to be red because of any of the problem of the lens. So that reddish thing should not be in your eyes. So this is an important point. Okay. Then the next important thing is your photograph must be colored, not black and white. It has to be colored with a white background. Okay. Basically light colored background, but it's best to choose a white colored background. Then the size of the photo is really important. Without getting the proper size, you cannot upload your photo. So the standard size that you can use is anywhere between 20 KB to 50 KB. Though they have also mentioned about the dimensions guys, but many a times you can change the dimensions. So rather than focusing on the dimension, you just need to focus on the clarity of the photograph and the size of the photograph. Automatically the system will take the dimensions. Okay, but at least the dimension must be 200 by 230 pixels. Okay. Then the next important thing is regarding the signature. So guys, the signature has to be on a white paper with black ink pen. So this is an important thing. You cannot use the blue ink pen. Okay. So the two important guidelines for the photograph, one is the size, which is 20 KB to 50 KB, and the other is it has to be colored with white background. Regarding the signature, important things are the signature has to be with the black ink on a white paper. Okay, and the size of the signature must be between 10 KB to 20 KB. Okay, dimension again guys, it has been highlighted as this, but again I would like to say, if you try to put it in the proper size, dimension won't matter much. You can easily upload it, but the important thing is you need to remember that both the photograph and the signature must be clear. Okay, so let me share with you that what will happen if you upload your photographs. I am uploading my own photograph. Okay, so when I upload it, it appears like this on the top, and my signature is appearing like this. I put this white background deliberately guys, so that you cannot copy my signatures. Okay, so guys, this is the way how you can upload your photograph. Now you can see that I am using the black ink. Okay, and the photograph is on the white background. So this is the way how you can complete the step number 2. We are done with the basic info. We are done with the photo and signature. Now what we'll do, we'll proceed on the step number 3, which is about the details. So let us see what are the details or additional details that NABARD is asking. So when we are done with uploading, we will click on the next button. Now guys, many of you might feel, sir, how to convert the size or how to get the relevant size. Guys, there are multiple software online which you can use. Moreover, you can also take the help of we can say paint software. That is also very good to crop the size, but again use it very carefully. The picture has to be clear. Okay, slight blurriness won't affect, but it hasn't to be much blurred. So guys, this is all about the point number 2. Now we will moving on to the point number 3 by clicking on the next button. So when we click on the next button, it will take your interface to something like this. Okay, so now it is asking a lot of information. First is they are asking about the post for which you are applying. So we are applying for the NABARD grade A RDBS post. So you will have to choose it from here. The another option that will appear here is for the Rajbhasha. Okay, so you will choose RDBS. For those who want to apply for the Rajbhasha, they can click on the next post, and if they want to apply for the grade A RDBS, they need to choose for RDBS. In this video, we are only telling about the NABARD grade A 2021 RDBS post. Then guys, the next important thing and very careful thing which you need to be, for the next thing for which you need to be very careful is the discipline applied for, that is the post you are applying. So the next option will be of this, the post you are applying. If you are applying the journalist post, the option will you have to select is journalist. If you want to apply for fishery, agriculture, there will be multiple options there and you need to choose accordingly. So you need to be very careful when you choose the post you are applying for. Okay, from here you can choose the post for which you want to apply. Then the next very important thing is your category. Guys, this is again, you just like your mobile number, you cannot change your category. So if you belongs to general category, you will use the code UR. If from economically weaker section, you will click on this icon. If OBC, if ST and SC, you will choose the options very carefully. You cannot change your caste. And guys, again, why I'm telling you this, because the payment of the form will be done according to the caste you will choose. If you have chosen the general, you have to put UR and the fees will change accordingly. If you choose the SC, ST or OBC, I think the payment for OBC, EWS and UR is same, but I think it's less for SC, ST. So the payment of the form will change according to the caste you have chosen. But one important thing is that you need to have proper documentation. Though it is not required during the time of this registration, but it might be required during the time of your interview or other stages of exam. So this is all about the category part, guys. Now they will asking about the further information regarding your physical health. If there is any disability, so you need to highlight that disability here. In the option number 4, are you a person with disability of 40% or above? You need to choose accordingly, yes or no. And if it is above 40%, so you need to fill the further details, like what is the disability category, the type of disability you are having, and the nature of disability. You need to type it on. Okay, I have chosen it for the person who is not having the disability. Okay, then if you are having, then they are asking about further options which you need to fill. This is only for the candidates who are having certain kind of disability. This will only appear if you are having the disability of 40% and above. Like, do you need compensatory time? Are you suffering from any of the disease like cerebral palsy? If you need compensatory time at the examination. So these are the options which you need to fill accordingly. So now guys, we'll move further. If you scroll down, the screen will appear like this. Till here, this was all about the disability section that we are discussing in the previous slide. From now, the things will appear for all the candidates. First thing is the religion to which you belong. Suppose if you are Hindu, you will fill Hindu. If you are Muslim, the option will appear by clicking on this. If you are Christian, you will choose the option of Christian. Then, do you belong to religious minority? So you need to have a proper documentation. So if like I am chosen Hindu, so I am not a religious minority, so I have put on no. Then, do you have the caste certificate? Because I have chosen UR general, so this icon is not appearing for me. But if I have chosen the OBC or SC, ST, so this option would have appeared, and then I have to chosen this section accordingly. Do you have income and assets? So this is not appearing for me because I have chosen the general. If I have chosen the economically weaker section, this icon should have appeared. Then, are you an ex-serviceman, commissioned officer? No, I am not. I haven't provided service in the our defense services, so I am not an ex-serviceman. Neither I have a commissioned officer, so I have chosen no. Actual period of servicing. So as I haven't served in the defense services, so this icon automatically disabled. Are you children or family member of those who died in the 1984 riots? So if you are one of those, you can choose it yes, otherwise the right answer is no. Are you an employee of NABARD? Suppose if you are working in NABARD, already working in NABARD at some other, in some other post, at some other post like assistant, so you need to choose yes if you are an employee. If you are not an employee, you need to choose no. Then accordingly, if you have chosen yes, you need to put your employee code which NABARD has provided to you. Okay. Then the next comes is nationality and citizenship. So it is Indian. Then state to which examination center belongs. Guys, you need to choose the center of the examination for the preliminary stage as well as for the main stage. Like I have chosen the New Delhi. So for the preliminary, it is highlighted as Delhi NCR. There will be options, and for the main examination there will be again options from which you can choose the respective center for your mains examination. Okay, so choose the centers very carefully, guys, because in the COVID situation it is really tough to move on from one place to another. Okay, so choose the options very carefully. So guys, these are the basic details that we have filled till now. Now let us move ahead. As you scroll down, we are right now filling the basic details, and we are now scrolling down to our personal details. This all will appear that we have, for whatever the options we have filled in our previous slides, it will only be in one page. Because of the constraint of that particular thing, I am putting it in the form of a photo. Okay, so as soon as you scroll down from the previous slide, your personal details will be asked. Okay, first what you need to do, you need to fill your date of birth. Okay, so date of birth I have highlighted randomly because I am not eligible. So I highlighted any date, 1st October 1991. My actual date of birth is prior to this. Okay, and your date will your birth date will appear here. Okay, now guys, for the first time NABARD is asking, this surprise to me that they are asking about if you have any twin brother or sister. So you need to fill accordingly. If you have, you will fill yes. If you know, if you do not have, then you fill no. Then the gender of the twin, if she or he is a male or a female, you need to choose accordingly. Then the name of your twin, you need to fill that. So this is the first time that NABARD is asking about the twins. Now what is your marital status? If you are married, unmarried, a widow, a widower, a divorcee, or judicially separated. So you need to fill your marital status. Then they are asking about the name of your father, name of your mother. So guys, these details are mandatory. Again, I would like to repeat, anything that have a asterisk mark with red color, it is mandatory. Without filling these details, you cannot move ahead. Then they are asking if you are married, you need to fill the name of your spouse. Then address for correspondence, you need to write your address, first line, which is mandatory, and address should be correct, guys. Okay. Then second line, if any, then third line, if any. Then you need to fill your district, the state to which your address is there, then the pin code of your district. Okay. Suppose guys, if you are living in Delhi, okay, or you are working in Delhi and your hometown is in UP. So your hometown is your permanent address, but it's totally up to you. If you want to put the permanent address as Delhi, so that is your call. Okay, what you can do is, if you are providing your, basically guys, address for correspondence is your just current address, and your permanent address may be same as correspondence, that is your current address, or it may be different. Okay, so it's totally up to you that what you want to choose. Suppose I am working in Delhi right now, and I know that for the future I am staying for the next 3-4 years at Delhi, so I can choose my permanent address as the address of correspondence. If I want to choose my hometown, which is in UP, so I can choose accordingly. It's totally your call. It's not much of a bigger thing or big issue. You can choose it simply. If you choose it as same as address for correspondence, these will be filled automatically. Otherwise, you have to fill it manually. Okay, that's the only thing which makes the difference. So guys, I hope you have understood that what you need to fill in your personal details. Now, when you are done filling your personal details, like this is the permanent address, and as soon as you click on, we have just discussed in the previous slide, as soon as you click on the same as correspondence, it will be automatically filled. Otherwise, you have to fill it manually. At the bottom most, the amount of the fee will appear. This will change if you change the caste, but guys, for that you need to have a proper certificate. So don't play with your caste. Okay, you need to have a proper documentation. If you do not have any documentation, you can choose the code UR, that is general. Okay, then one important icon that will appear from this step number 3 is validate your detail. So guys, from the top, from the basic, we started filling from our caste, the position that we are applied for, then the disability, then we have filled the centers, then we have come to personal details. So we have filled all the basic details in this slide, and at the bottom most there are two icons. One is save and next, and other is validate your detail. So guys, what I try to suggest is first you click on validate your details. So if any column which is important and is left unfilled, you can fill it from here. Okay, when you are done with validate your details, you can move on to save and next. Okay, so when you click on save and next, your first 3 steps are done. Actually, in the step number 3, part 2 is pending. So let's see what is that part 2. We have filled the basic details, but now they want to ask about the qualification, experience and languages. And guys, this is a slide which might confuse many of the students. So what they are asking about your qualification in this particular slide. So you need to fill it. But as soon as, suppose I am a BTech graduate, as soon as I go into the graduation and bachelor degree, the options appear here are like art, science, commerce, management, but there is no option like BTech. So what will I do? There is an option of others. Okay, and what will I do? When I click on that other icon, a small box will appear here, and I will write Bachelor of Technology in here. Okay, this is how I will tell about my graduation details. I do not have any post graduation detail, so I won't fill the remaining one. But if you are postgraduate, you will fill it accordingly. Okay, if you do not find the mention of your course, go to the others icon and put down the name of your course below the box that will appear. If you are postgraduate, you will fill the details. If you are postgraduate diploma, professional qualification, you will fill it accordingly. Now the next confusing thing is the date of passing. So what is this date of passing? How you can fill it? Guys, date of passing is nothing but the date that is highlighted on your final year mark sheet. Mark sheet I am saying, not the degree, I am saying mark sheet, or the date on the provisional certificate that you get from the college. What is a provisional certificate? Provisional certificate is kind of a temporary degree that is being provided by the college till the time your main degree is available. Okay, this is just a temporary document which act as a degree till the time you get your main degree. Okay, because there is a almost every college there is a gap, like you might have heard of the term like convocation. So during the time of convocation, that your main degree is provided. Okay, but you cannot wait for your degree for that long. So in the date of passing, what you need to fill? You need to fill the date which is provided on your final year mark sheet or on the provisional certificate that is provided by the college when you move out from the college. Okay, now there is one more thing for the students who have appeared, or basically who have appeared for the examination and there is a pendency in their result. Like during the time of COVID, many of the institutes have delayed the declaration of result. So what they can do for that, the NABARD has provided a solution. In case the result of a particular examination is posted on the website of university, is not posted on the university or the site of the university, a certificate issued by the appropriate authority indicating the date on which the result will be posted on the website will be taken as the date of passing. Okay, so you need to consult the appropriate authority that on which day your result will be published, and that particular day will be considered as your day of passing. Okay, so I hope there is no confusion now regarding the date of passing. It either be the date of your mark sheet, final year mark sheet, or the provisional certificate, or if the result is pending, you need to consult the appropriate authority of your college that and they ask them to provide a certificate that on which day your result will be available, and the date that they provide will be your date of passing. Then the next thing that confuse many of the student is about the percentage of marks. What we fill in the percentage of marks? Many of the colleges directly provide the marks or the marks in the percentage form, but many of the colleges provide the CGPA, or they basically provide in the grades form, like out of 10. So guys, they need to contact their college to get a converter. Like in MNNIT, they have provided us a converter that our CGPA, when multiplied by 10, suppose I have a CGPA of 7 out of 10. So when our CGPA is multiplied by 10, this 10 was the converter, it will give me my percentage. So you need to contact your college. It is not fixed for every of the college. Okay, they might have the converter as 9, they might have converter as 9.5. In our college, which is MNIT Allahabad, they have a converter which is equivalent to 10. So you just need to, suppose if there is someone who is having CGPA of 6.8, they need to multiply by the converter which is 10 and they get the percentage. So you need to contact your college regarding this converter, that what is the converter, how much CGPA will be equivalent to what percentage. You need to contact your college. So when you are done with this, you will fill your percentage of marks and then the class or the grade, if you are first class, second class or third class. So guys, I hope each of these things regarding your qualification is clear to you, so that now we can move on to the next portion of ours, this qualification, which is about your job experience, that is your post qualification experience. In the first box, what you will do, you will fill the name of the company for which you are working, then what is your designation, if you are presently working there or not, you will mark here yes or no. Then on the day, on which date you have joined the company, you will fill here. If you are not working there, you will fill the final date, that on which, till what date you have worked in that particular company. In short, you can write about the nature of your duties, what was your like suppose someone was a software engineer, so he can write in very brief about his job and responsibility. Then in short, he can tell the reason why he wants to, he left the job, why. Then what is its year of experience, it will be calculated automatically when you fill these details. Okay, if you have worked for more than one company, you can add your experience by clicking on add more. It will add up one more line here, just like these boxes will be add up if you have worked for more than 2 companies. Similarly, you have to keep on adding. Okay, so this is all about their post qualification experience. Now they are asking about the languages that you know. Like I know English, so I will write here English. Then I click on read, write and speak. If I know Hindi, I will write it here Hindi, then read, write and speak. Then again I will validate my details by clicking on these. If there is any important icon which is missed, it will automatically highlight that. And after that, I will click on save and next. So when I click on save and next, my step number 3 is now fully complete with my filling the details of basic details and the qualification details. Now guys, it take up to the step number 4, which is nothing but the review of all the details that we have filled. Okay, it will appear like this. My name will appear, the post I am applying for, my category, sorry, the post I am applying for and my category. Then it talks about the disability. So whatever we have filled in the previous slides till the step number 3 will automatically appear here, even my photograph. Okay, and as we move on to the bottom, the entire details will be there, and at the bottom most, the last option of language known will be appear. Like I have highlighted only English. If I could have highlighted Hindi, so it have added Hindi as well. Yes, 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 or whatever your fluency is, you need to mark it accordingly. So all the details, again I would like to repeat, all the details that have been filled in all the previous steps will be highlighted here. Okay, now what you need to do, if you find each and every detail is correct, you need to review your form very carefully. If each and every detail is correct, then you need to confirm at 3 places. At the place number 1 is your photograph. I confirm that this is my photo, and as soon as I scroll down at the bottom, there are 2 more points where I need to confirm. One is I agree, and other is I confirm that this is my signature. So whatever the photo and the signature I uploaded and whatever the information that I have provided, if I agree to that, I need to confirm at all these places, and then I will click on complete registration. If there is any mistake in my form that I identified at this point of time, what I need to do before clicking on the complete registration, I will go back. This will take me to the step number 3. If I want to change my photo, I can move on to the step number 2. But guys, if you click on complete registration, there is no way that you can edit your application. The only thing you can do is that you need to fill the entire details again through a separate mobile number, or basically you need to use a separate mobile number and a separate email. Okay. So guys, if all the details are correct, and I would say please review the form very carefully. If all the details are correct, we will move on with complete registration. So guys, we are done with step number 1, step number 2, 3 and 4. Now it is taking us to step number 5, which is upload. Now what are the documents they are asking? What we need to upload? So guys, there are 2 important documents now that we need to upload. One is your left thumb impression. So you need to be ready with your left thumb impression. And one more thing that they are asking about is a handwritten declaration. What this hand declaration is all about. But before uploading these, let's see what are the important guidelines. This is must to remember. So guys, the important guidelines regarding the left thumb impression and the handwritten declaration is that the applicant has to sign on white paper with black ink. This is basically regarding the signature. Let's start from the thumb impression. First, it has to be of left thumb. Then it is to be on a white paper. You can use either the black ink or the blue ink. It's totally your choice. If you want to use the black ink, it's good. If you want to use the blue ink, it's good. But the size of that photo of your left hand thumb impression must be between 20 KB to 50 KB. Okay. But guys, regarding the handwritten declaration, there is an important thing that it has to be written on a white paper with black ink. So remember this, do not forget, for the thumb, no constraint regarding the ink. You can use the black or the blue ink, but for the handwritten declaration, you must use black ink. Okay. Then again, the size of the file of hand declaration must be between 50 to 100 KB. So you need to make the adjustments prior to filling all these details, guys. Again, what are the documents that you need to upload? Your photo, your signature, your left thumb impression and a handwritten declaration. So guys, before filling up the form, please prepare these as per the respective guidelines, because otherwise it will take a lot of time during the time of filling. Now, one more important thing regarding the handwritten declaration is, guys, that it has to be written in a free handwriting. Okay, like whatever you are writing normally, I, Veer Ashutosh, you have to write it in a free handwriting. Whatever the way you write normally, you have to use that particular thing only, or particular way only, not thing. And guys, next important thing is your handwritten declaration must not be in the capital letters. Not be in the capital letters. Okay, so you will write in the free handwriting. No capital letter is allowed. But guys, there is one thing which is exception is being given to the visually impaired students, that they can get it typed and get it uploaded. Okay, this is the exception which has been given to the visually impaired students. Okay, I will give you that what this handwritten declaration comprises of. So guys, we have uploaded our left thumb here, and regarding the handwritten declaration, it has to be something like this. I, Veer Ashutosh, you will write your own name, not mine. Okay, I, so and so, hereby declare that all the information submitted by me in the application form is correct, true and valid. I will present the supporting documents as and when required. So this is the way you will write down the, or this is the format of the handwritten declaration. It has to be in the black, and these are the exact words except the name which you need to write down, and it has to be in the free writing. No capital letter is allowed. So when you are done writing this, and when you are done uploading your left thumb impression and the handwritten declaration as per the size, you need to put the security code, and what you do, you will click on save and next. As soon as you click on the save and next, it will take you the last step of your registration process, which is the payment of your fees. And there is a security code which you need to type before it will take you to the payment site. So as it is given here, WRJW5. As soon as I type the security code and click on the submit icon, it will take me to the payment page, and I will make the payment of my fee, which is 944, and this 944 is basically for the UR students. Okay, so that's why I mentioned that you need to be very careful when you write down your, or when you select your caste. So guys, I hope you have understood each and every important point regarding that, how you can apply it online, and what are the important points that you need to consider while filling up your NABARD Grade A 2021 examination form. We have completed the basic information step, we have completed the photo and signature, the third step, the fourth, and the fifth step, which comprises of uploading our left thumb impression and our handwritten declaration. I have shown each and everything in the best possible way. If there is any doubt that still comes in your mind, guys, you can reach out to us at hello@edutap.co.in. Moreover, you can give us a call at 8146 207241. So guys, that's all from my side. I hope you have liked the video. In case there is any doubt, you know what you need to do. For now, I'm your mentor Veer, now signing off. Okay guys, bye bye, take care. I would like to wish you a very happy learning.